get it right. Let's 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 get it right. You already know what it is, man. It's your boy Dealatofficial. And this is No Filters. Always appreciate you hitting that like button for me. Subscribing to the channel so you don't miss an episode and sharing this with the world. And of course, family, when you come in, get comfortable. Get you something to eat. Get you something to drink. Get you something to smoke if that's what you do. Cause you see the title, fam. Let's get into this here.
We're challenging the standard of what comes standard with the next generation.
If he chooses to wear a dress at the Super Bowl.
He famously won
Cute in the building, Order Ward in the building, Lori in the building, Chris in the building, winner in the building.
I don't know who the hell the guy is. I've never heard of him. I'm not even big into music. What's his name?
Bad Bunny.
What the hell is Bad Bunny saying?
That was Hall of Fame running back Eric Dickerson reacting to Bad Bunny being announced as the Super Bowl halftime headliner. But the real storm started when rumors surfaced that Bad Bunny might wear a dress during the performance. Now NFL players across the league are weighing in, and what they're saying is turning heads. Let's break it down. The announcement and immediate backlash. On September 28, 2025, the NFL announced that Bad Bunny would headline the Apple Music Super Bowl LX halftime show at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, California. The Puerto Rican artist became the first solo Latin performer to receive the honor. Commissioner Roger Goodell called it a uniting moment for Americans. Bad Bunny responded to his selection by stating that what he was feeling went beyond himself, that it was for those who came before him and ran countless yards so he could come in and score a touchdown, and that this was for his people, his culture, and their history. The announcement triggered immediate reactions from across the sports media landscape. Some celebrated the decision as a milestone for Latin representation. Others questioned whether the football audience would connect with a Spanish language performer. The controversy would only intensify in the weeks and months that followed. Pro Football Hall of Fame running back Eric Dickerson did not hold back in his criticism. In an airport interview with TMZ on October 7, 2025, Dickerson made his position clear, admitting he had no familiarity with the artist and expressing his displeasure with the selection.
I don't know who the hell the guy is. I've never heard of him. I'm not even big into music. What's his name?
Bad Bunny.
What the hell is Bad Bunny saying?
I don't know any songs myself.
I don't know any Bad Bunny songs, but if Bad Bunny don't like the United States, keep his ass right here.
Dickerson's critique centered on Bad Bunny's perceived anti-American sentiments, particularly regarding U.S. policies toward Puerto Rico. The Hall of Famer urged Bad Bunny to stay in Puerto Rico if he dislikes the United States. He emphasized his love for his country and said that if someone doesn't like the United States, they should get out and not come here. Dickerson also labeled the NFL as corrupt and uncaring about its players, using the halftime selection as an example of the league prioritizing controversial figures over traditional values. He called the choice a joke and suggested it injects unnecessary political crap into what should be an apolitical sporting event. The interviewer then pointed out a basic fact that Dickerson seemed to overlook.
Where's Bad Bunny from?
He's from Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico. You know, if you went to the U.S., keep it over there.
Apparently, Puerto Rico is part of the U.S.
This exchange highlighted a common misconception that would surface repeatedly throughout the controversy. Puerto Rico has been a U.S. territory since 1898, making its residents American citizens by birth. Other voices in sports media echoed similar concerns about the selection. Emmanuel Acho, a former NFL linebacker turned Fox Sports analyst, and LaShawn Shady McCoy, a retired player and co-host on the Speakeasy podcast, discussed their reservations in a YouTube episode. Acho made a surprising confession about his initial perception of the artist.
The Super Bowl halftime show was announced during halftime of Sunday night's game, and it was revealed that Mr. Bad Bunny is going to be doing Super Bowl halftime this year. How do we feel about it?
Can
Can I confess? Up until 3 years ago, I thought Bad Bunny was a woman.
Acho and McCoy questioned whether the football audience would enjoy Bad Bunny in person. They acknowledged his global streaming dominance while expressing uncertainty about his fit for the Super Bowl demographic. McCoy compared the selection unfavorably to previous halftime performers, rattling off a list of American music icons who had graced the stage in recent years.
Not that Bad Bunny don't go crazy. The question is the football audience gonna enjoy Bad Bunny in person? We went from Shakira and J-Lo to the Super Bowl in LA with 50 Cent and Eminem and Mary J and Dre and Dr. Dre to Rihanna to Usher to Kendrick, and now you're going to Bad Bunny. It's not that I don't think Bad Bunny is one of the most popping artists globally, not even just in America, globally.
The Breakfast Club radio show also addressed the controversy. DJ Envy, Jess Hilarious, and Charlamagne Tha God discussed the backlash on their program. People were upset about Bad Bunny primarily performing in Spanish, arguing that audiences would not understand or connect with the music during the halftime show.
Bad Bunny's performing at this year's Super Bowl, and people are upset. They're mad. They're saying that he primarily performs in Spanish, and they're saying that people are not going to understand or really vibe with the music during the halftime show.
Did they feel like that when Shakira performed? Did they feel like that when J-Lo performed?
Charlamagne defended the selection by pointing to Bad Bunny's undeniable global success. He noted that Bad Bunny has sold over 100 million records worldwide and emphasized that the Super Bowl has always been about showcasing the biggest artists on the planet, regardless of what language they perform in. But the announcement was only the beginning. A new rumor would soon emerge that would take the controversy to an entirely different level. The dress rumor ignites a firestorm. On January 23rd, 2026, a new element entered the controversy that would send shockwaves through the sports world. Anonymous sources close to the production leaked information claiming that Bad Bunny planned to wear a dress during his halftime performance. The outfit was described as a deliberate tribute to Puerto Rican queer icons and flag culture, intended to challenge gender norms and highlight cultural resistance against colonialism. Reports characterized the rumored attire as a political thunderbolt disguised as couture. The rumor spread rapidly across social media and entertainment news outlets. One content creator provided a detailed breakdown of what Bad Bunny allegedly planned to do on the biggest stage in American sports.
Bad Bunny announced yesterday, because he's Bad Bunny, that during his halftime show, he's going to wear a dress. Now, I think he wears a dress frequently when he's on tour and doing his live concerts, and that's kind of his thing. But Bad Bunny came out and said, and I'm quoting him, I want to be very clear about what I'm saying. This is a direct quote from Bad Bunny. He's going to wear a dress during his halftime show to honor queer icons. That's what he's going to do.
Conservative commentators seized on the story, framing it as evidence of the NFL's shift toward what they characterized as woke inclusivity at the expense of its traditional fan base. Right-wing media personalities amplified the backlash, with figures like Benny Johnson describing the NFL's decision as hiring a cross-dressing, America-hating, ICE-hating Puerto Rican dude. Phrases like boycott the Super Bowl trended briefly on social media platforms. Users predicted the halftime show would become the lowest rated halftime show ever. Former college football coach Jason Brown, known from Netflix's Last Chance U series, unleashed a profanity-laced rant on social media. Brown called the dress plan inappropriate and accused the NFL of pushing divisive agendas that undermine the sport's core values of masculinity and unity. His comments emphasized his belief that the halftime show should focus on entertainment without injecting social commentary. His reaction tied into broader sentiments among coaching circles, where some viewed Bad Bunny's history of gender-fluid fashion as incompatible with the NFL's image. Sports commentator John Root provided a detailed TikTok breakdown, arguing that the dress plan contradicted Commissioner Goodell's statement that Bad Bunny's performance would be a uniting moment for Americans. Root argued that honoring queer icons through such attire would dismantle national unity and predicted it could lead to boycotts and lower viewership. He urged fans to skip the halftime show to send a message against what he characterized as forced diversity. Not everyone viewed the rumor negatively. The podcasters who broke down the news offered their own perspective on whether they would make the same choice if given the opportunity to perform at the Super Bowl.
Listen, if they told me you gotta wear a dress, but you get to perform at the Super Bowl halftime show, 100%. I'm absolutely wearing a dress and not gonna care what anybody says about it.
Dude, I put Spanx on.
It's good for the brand. I'm gonna be up there looking good. Like I'm not, it's good for the brand.
I'm
performing at halftime.
The backlash extended to resurfacing Bad Bunny's past political statements. Commentators highlighted his criticisms of U.S. policies, including comments about ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Conservative outlets labeled his potential outfit as cross-dressing and tied it to his advocacy for LGBTQ+ rights. This included his 2020 music video, Yo Perreo Sola, where he appeared in drag to protest gender-based violence. The Breakfast Club addressed how Bad Bunny's political statements contributed to the controversy. Charlemagne pointed out that the backlash stemmed from more than just the dress rumor.
If Bad Bunny hadn't have said he doesn't want to do no shows in America because, he's afraid that ICE is going to come to his shows, if he hadn't have said that, this wouldn't even be a conversation.
You think so?
I think this is the only reason this is happening. No, it's because he took a political stand, right? And he said that he didn't want to do no shows in America because he didn't want ICE agents to raid his concert or whatever it was. That sentence alone got people in their feelings.
Fact-checking reports noted the spread of fabricated quotes attributed to active coaches. Houston Texans head coach Demeco Ryans was falsely quoted as erupting over Bad Bunny's style. AFP fact-check debunked these fake statements, which claimed Ryans viewed the performer's dress wearing as an insult to football's traditions. This indicated how the rumor had fueled misinformation to amplify discomfort among coaching and analyst communities. As of January 24th, 2026, Bad Bunny had not directly addressed the dress rumor. The NFL had also not issued any statement disapproving the rumored attire, despite widespread criticism. The silence from both parties left the speculation to grow unchecked across social media and traditional media platforms. But to understand why this rumor resonated so strongly, one must examine Bad Bunny's established history of challenging gender norms through fashion. Bad Bunny's established history of gender-fluid fashion. The controversy surrounding Bad Bunny's rumored Super Bowl outfit did not emerge from a vacuum. The Puerto Rican artist has built his entire career on challenging traditional gender norms through bold fashion choices that have consistently provoked discussion and admiration in equal measure. Born Benito Antonio Martinez Ocasio on March 10, 1994, in Almirante Sur, Vega Baja, Puerto Rico, Bad Bunny rose from uploading tracks to SoundCloud in 2016 to becoming one of the most streamed artists globally on Spotify, holding the title of Most Streamed Artist for 3 consecutive years, from 2020 to 2022. His musical journey spans chart-topping albums including X100 Pre 2018, YHLQMDLG 2020, El Último Tour del Mundo 2020, and Un Verano Sin Ti 2022. These records blended genres like reggaeton, trap, rock, and bachata while addressing themes of love, heartbreak, social issues, and personal identity. Beyond his music, Bad Bunny distinguished himself through a bold, gender-fluid approach to fashion that challenges traditional Latinx masculinity, often incorporating elements like skirts, dresses, nail polish, and other feminine-coded accessories in his music videos, live performances, red carpet.
Hold up. You need to know what's going on right now. You in here with your boy Dilla T, my fam. And this is No Filters. Hit that like button, double tap that screen, become a member today. We're gonna save your life while we at it. Join, and if you wanna be a sponsor, just join. That's all you gotta do, fam. Hit the subscribe button, put your notification bell on all. This happening Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. It's only one way to do it. Right here with your boy Dilla T. Let me tell you what's going on, man. This Bad Bunny. If you ain't never heard who this is, this boy is Latin, and he just did the Super Bowl. Now, he done did a couple Super Bowl showings, but it's different when you talking about just pick that guy. And that's what's been done at this point. They didn't pick that guy. And in the midst of it, lots been done, but it's some controversy and some conversation that need to be done about this, because what's being presented by this man right here, it's hard to say, because you have a man presenting man and female roles publicly, which at the same point doesn't put you in a position of which side are you on, because now you don't know what you're doing or who you are. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it may seem uncomfortable because people don't want to see that. People don't want to see it. See, that's what you got to understand. Even though we in the world where we sit here saying, hey, they saying invite any and all in, and whatever you want to do with your life, be who you want to be. You can be born this way, but then change how you feel this way, or change your gender this way, and that's all up to you and whatever you want to do, right? True. Okay. Now, It's so difficult when aiming at our children because our children have no decisions. They can't make no decisions like that right now. And that's the target that they're aiming. They're aiming for our kids because our kids have to have clearance to do whatever they want to do. Why? Because they have to come ask their parents, can they do it? What the world is doing, the world is giving these kids a stage of their own. They're giving them authority. They're handing them authority, letting them know, hey, it's okay to be 10 years old and just make a decision of your own. Somebody better hear me today for real tonight, because this is really real. Somebody need to hear this. It's a problem because people are going to see this in the way that they've been trying to promote this as free life, free living, do as thou wilt, do you, no rules, no morals, nothing to stand on, just whatever you see, if you feel it, just do it at whatever age. And that's not right. That's not right at all. Shout out to Ruth in the building. Say good night, everyone. I just wanted to say hello. I got to be up early. I'm going to shower and then bed. Love y'all. Shout out to you, Ruth. Love you as well. Appreciate you pulling up. We did the raffle last night. Lori won in the raffle. Demi Hill won for the men. Shout out to and congratulations to them again. But follow what I'm saying, because this is so very serious. You have people like Bad Bunny that they allow, they put in position, and because they make him bigger because of the things he's doing. Think about it. Everybody's not doing what Bad Bunny is doing. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody not doing what he's doing. So everybody don't have his platform. Hold up, let's get right. Because for some reason people think that just because he's Latino, Puerto Rican, things of that nature mixed, right? They think because of that and his platform is making him so big. If that was the case, every Latino mixed artist would be as big as him. They're not. You understand? This is where you read in between the lines. Every artist on his level, every Latino artist would be as big as him if the things he was doing didn't make him different. See, what he's doing is what the elite want him to do. That's why he's in the position he's in. That's why he's bigger than others. There are so many other artists that are mixed, Latinos and Puerto Rican, and they're not as big as Bad Bunny. And when you look at Bad Bunny, you're like, what's so different about this guy? What's so different about this guy that makes him look like he's bigger than the globe? Oh, okay. Something about, okay, well, he's identifying as a man, but yet he chooses when to dress like a man, and then the next day he chooses to dress like a woman, full-blown woman. And then the next day he may choose to be dressing like a little girl. And then the next day he may be dressing like full-blown man again. So when we start to separate and say, hey, what is he doing that's different than everyone else, that has his platform and his position bigger than everyone else? What is the difference? That's the only difference. The agenda and the sound and the look and the things that he is saying, writing, reciting, and dressing is confusion. Period. Call it what you will, but we calling it confusion. Because it's different if a man want to dress like a man today and then dress like a woman tomorrow, and then still want you to identify him as a man. Some ain't right with that. No, that's confusion. And you have to understand how easy they can put that out there, and no one in their right mind is going to question it publicly. But yet, they know kids are just going to roll with it. There are small tweaks and small things being done and changed that's removing the masculinity out of the world. Let me say that one more time. There are small things being done to remove the masculinity out of the world. So now you have to start realizing who is the real target. Like I told you, when Obama was in office, Obama, his policy signed off gay marriage. His policy signed off, if you identified as a man, but you look like a woman, you can walk into the woman's bathroom right now. That's what Obama did. He created that to where any woman, any person that identified on the outside that day can walk into the gender that they are revealing that day. They can walk in that gender bathroom and be in there with no problem. You see how one man can change the policies, or they can literally change the curriculum of the world because of what they want to be done, because of how they see fit. That is almost poison, or that's almost like littering. Like that's like somebody just littering on your property. Just taking trash and just dumping it right on your property. You don't really understand who they're targeting. They're targeting weak-minded people that have no position on who they are or their identity. You know how many grown people are still unidentified of their identity? They still can't identify their identity. Let me say that again, because I just lost somebody because there was too many words for you. There is grown people in the world that can't identify their identity right now. Hit that like button, double tap that screen. Somebody listening, this for somebody. There are grown people that can't identify their identity. And because of that, you can see people like Bad Bunny give you a voice. When Bad Bunny wasn't even raised this way. See, that's what I don't be understanding. It'd be so crazy. These people are not even raised like this. So you have to know that they're not really even on this because they weren't even raised like this. This boy was raised as a boy in Puerto Rico, as a boy, coming up like every other boy. So again, I ask, what's the difference between him and every other Latino artist? But why is he the global one and everybody else is still regular? What is he doing that's so different? And how is he doing it that makes the world look at him like he's the #1 Latino choice? Some ain't right. Hit that like button, double tap that screen. You're going to learn something tonight. You're going to learn something tonight. Let's go.
It's time, your time. Not just to go back to school, but to come back and move.
Sitting up there saying, blah, blah, blah. And then I know everybody in the world seen it in the United States of America. Them two guys grinding on each other. Don't go ahead and say it, and I'm going to tell you right now, that was the worst Super Bowl halftime performance I've ever seen. That dude sitting there, whatever his name, Bad Bunny, Little Bunny, Stick Bunny, I don't care what type of bunny, sitting up there saying, blah, blah, blah. And then I know everybody in the world seen it in the United States of America. Them two guys grinding on each other. I would have rather seen freaking Janet Jackson have a clothes malfunction than anything other than watching two guys grind on the Super Bowl halftime performance. Roger Goodell, why did you pick Bad Bunny? For what? I don't know. I don't want to see it again. I walked out. I'm going to go ahead and say it.
But I ain't gonna lie to you, that shit was lame, that shit was ass. Take that shit to Avon Street.
Oh boy, what's going on, family? I hope everybody that's tuned in right now that you are blessed, well, and healthy. But what a time to be alive, man. You just can't make this up. And I think you're going to enjoy this video on today's show. And it is Americans reacting to the Super Bowl halftime show this year for Bad Bunny 2026. And let's just throw this out there. Did the NFL make a mistake? How do you feel about the NFL? Weigh in with your thoughts. Check out this amazing video we put together. And once again, you just can't make this up, man. Check this out and let me know what you think down below.
You know what? I'm in my closet. And so I'm sitting here getting ready to talk about Bad Bunny's performance at the Super Bowl. And I get it. I know that you Latinos, Tejanos, and everybody else want to get this guy. This AI Super Bowl was the worst. It was the worst Super Bowl performance without real live, real ammunition, real performances. All this AI and all this bullshit that he had was whack. Listen, I don't have anything against the Latino community, but y'all gotta admit, it was not authentic. He had too much bullshit in his shit. Bad Bunny was bad business. And I'll say it again. So y'all can sit up here and play in the faces of us if y'all want to. I think all this is a conspiracy. And I really think that you all are really trying to dumb down what's really real in our world. Because Bad Bunny's performance was bad. Bad Bunny was bad. Bad. Y'all get that? This dude was bad. I'm sorry. We got to do better. And I'm trying to figure out what part of nothing he did was, this is the one time I wish he would have brought ZELLE on. Somebody who can make sense of what his choreography was about. Yeah, I mean, he did street culture for the Latino community. Which community of the Latino community? Because you know the Latino community has several communities. Which one was he depicting? He was all over the place. And it didn't make no sense. And then, worst Super Bowl performance ever, he goes down to be that one. I said what I said.
That's just ridiculous. Let's go.
Soon we'll be telling the whole stadium how Liberty Mutual customizes car insurance to save people hundreds. Now go get us tickets. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
YouTube's AdList is your front row seat to all the big game ads and exclusive creator content.
Bad Bunny just had one of the most controversial Super Bowl halftime shows ever, at least politically speaking, with his performance being the first halftime show to be done entirely in Spanish and becoming the most viewed performance of all time. After years of protest against ICE and the Trump administration, to the point where the right hosted an alternate all-American halftime show with Kid Rock to push back against Bad Bunny in the NFL, Bad Bunny did something very unexpected and had a performance jam-packed full of subliminal messages that I want to break down today. And to understand why this halftime show was both so controversial and important, we have to know a little bit more about who Bad Bunny is and why this is so politically charged. Bad Bunny is a massive artist who's recently been compared to the likes of Latin America's Drake. And some even go as far as to say that he's bigger than Drake already. He's from Puerto Rico, which is important, and it's also important to remember that Puerto Rico is a US territory and has been since 1898. This brings us to the focal point of what makes Bad Bunny being announced as the 2026 Super Bowl headliner so controversial. In September of 2025, it was announced that Bad Bunny, a Puerto Rican singer and rapper, was set to perform for the halftime show. As we discussed his impressive accolades and worldwide appeal, Bad Bunny performing at the Super Bowl makes sense. Even despite not making music in English, I think it's still fair to say you can enjoy a song even if you don't understand it, like we've seen with Despacito or Gangnam Style being huge hits in the US. As part of the announcement, Bad Bunny said, "What I'm feeling goes beyond myself. It's for those who came before me and ran countless yards so I could come in and score a touchdown. This is for my people, my culture, and our history." Ironically, this was a bit of foreshadowing. This is where things get political, in large part because Bad Bunny performs almost entirely in Spanish, and he's been a loud and frequent critic of the Trump administration. In a tour announced by Bad Bunny, he has no planned stops in the continental US. In interviews, he's explained the choice, saying that the decision was due to fears that his fans could be targeted by Trump's mass deportation push. And after the Super Bowl announcement, he alluded to the move on Twitter, saying, "I've been thinking about it these days, and after discussing it with my team, I think I'll just do one day in the United States." And he's been fairly critical of the United States before. Back in 2017, he criticized the lack of humanitarian aid in the wake of Hurricane Maria, which devastated Puerto Rico. During a benefit concert for hurricane relief, Bad Bunny wore a shirt criticizing Trump with the message, "Eres tuitero o presidente," which translates to, "Are you a Twitter user or a president?"
Muéstranos tu t-shirt.
Teacher.
Tell us about this t-shirt.
La camisa habla.
La camisa habla.
Yeah, es una pregunta para el pana. Va a tener que buscar un puertorriqueño o un mexicano que se la traduzca porque no creo que sepa español.
And his passion hasn't only been directed towards larger US politics either. In 2019, Bad Bunny took to the streets alongside other artists such as Ricky Martin and more than 500,000 Puerto Ricans. This was in protest of government corruption and demanding the resignation of their current governor. In 2022, one of his music videos criticized Puerto Rican utility deficiencies, gentrification in San Juan, and land and beach privatization, something which he would do again in his performance. And all of these themes are under the colonialism umbrella, which Bad Bunny often addresses both in his music and in his activism. Fast forward to the 2024 US presidential election, and Bad Bunny posted a bunch of clips of Kamala Harris criticizing Trump, especially after the comedian Tony Hinchcliffe made a joke about Puerto Rico at the Trump rally, which took place at Madison Square Garden.
You know, there's a lot going on. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah, I think it's called Puerto Rico.
Alongside all of this, Bad Bunny is also known for his LGBTQ+ advocacy. In 2020, he appeared as the musical guest on Jimmy Fallon and brought attention to the killing of Alexa Luciano, a transgender woman from Puerto Rico. He wore a black skirt and a white shirt with the words, "They killed Alexa, not a man in a skirt." That same year, Bad Bunny kept up with his LGBTQ+ activism when he performed a drag for another music video. On top of these kind of things, other public moments have pissed some people off as well. Like at a Yankee game when he and some friends didn't stand during the performance of God Bless America. All of this resulted in what might be one of the most controversial halftime show performance picks of all time, which even resulted in President Trump chiming in about the halftime show decision.
I never heard of him. I don't know who he is. I don't know why they're doing it. It's like crazy. And then they blame it on some promoter that they hired to pick up entertainment. I think it's absolutely ridiculous.
And a lot of other Republican politicians mirrored this ideal as well, claiming to not know who Bad Bunny was or saying that it was a bad decision. But one of the main topics is ICE, a United States government apparatus that Bad Bunny has been very critical of. The United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE for short, is a federal law enforcement agency under the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. Its self-stated mission is to protect America through criminal investigations and enforcing immigration laws to preserve national security and public safety. But lately, a lot of citizens don't feel like this is the case. Well, during Obama's administration, ICE was prioritized to go after people charged with serious crimes, or at least they were supposed to. The narrative seemed to fully shift with the Trump administration, directing the agency to target anybody it believed had entered the United States illegally. With this came some more high-profile raids at places of employment, places of worship, and places of education, which caused major protests and even arrests of US citizens. And this was just during Trump's first term. Things have ramped up quite a bit since then, with ICE receiving record funding from the Big Beautiful Bill. Beginning in December 2025, ICE began Operation Metro Surge in Minnesota, which was characterized by local police and journalists as a severe escalation of ICE tactics. As a result came some of the biggest anti-ICE protests the US has ever seen, which led to headline after headline. Then on January 7th, 2026, an ICE officer shot and killed 37-year-old Renee Nicole Goods during an incident in Minneapolis, Minnesota. If the ICE situation was tense before, it was now red hot. Protests exploded across the city and nation overall, with a massive amount of people displaying frustration with the agency's actions. By this point, polls showed that a majority of Americans thought as a whole, ICE as an agency had gone too far. Then on January 24th, 2026, ICU nurse Alex Preddy was pepper sprayed, restrained, shot, and killed again by DHS agents. This was allegedly after he attempted to protect a woman who had been shoved to the ground by federal agents. Remember how I said things were already red hot after Renee? Well, whatever gets even crazier than that is what the situation evolved into. So the stakes were very high for Bad Bunny, an artist who has been very critical of this organization. And Bad Bunny had a lot of pushback from the United States government. Corey Lewandowski, a senior advisor at the Department of Homeland Security, claimed that ICE agents will be at Bad Bunny's halftime show.
Benny, there is nowhere that you can provide safe haven to people who are in this country illegally, not the Super Bowl and nowhere else. We will find you, we will apprehend you, we will put you in a detention facility, and we will deport you. So know that that is a very real situation under this administration, which is completely contrary to how it used to be.
And again, the claim that ICE would be in attendance was echoed by other Homeland Security officials following the initial statement. While many adversaries of Bad Bunny claim an American should be headlining, a lot of proponents have continued to point out that Puerto Rico is in fact part of America. And Bad Bunny eventually addressed everything in his SNL monologue, saying he's still happy to be performing and that he believes most people are as well, especially emphasizing how proud he is to represent his Latin culture. When asked why the NFL chose Bad Bunny during a press conference, NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell answered, "He's one of the leading and most popular entertainers in the world. That's what we try to achieve. It's an important stage for us. It's an important element to the entertainment value. It's carefully thought through." He also added on that despite the backlash, he has no plans of canceling the performance, since the move was made to attract younger audiences. And he also pointed out that he's not sure they've ever selected an artist and received zero criticism. In response to all of this, Turning Point USA, which was founded by Charlie Kirk and is now owned by his wife, Erica Kirk, announced that they would have their own alternate halftime show, which we'll talk about a little bit more later. A week before his performance, Bad Bunny had the first Spanish language album of the year win at the Grammys. He said in his acceptance speech, "I want to dedicate this award to all the people that had to leave their homeland, their country, to follow their dreams." He also said, "Before I say thanks to God, I'm gonna say ice out. We're not savage, we're not animals, we're not aliens. We are humans and we are Americans." After all of this build-up, I'm sure you guys can see why his halftime show performance was so important and was bound to be so controversial. But Bad Bunny did something that was, in my opinion, very unexpected. Rather than making a huge, overtly political performance, protesting against Trump or ICE, Bad Bunny chose to celebrate his culture and unity with a lot of subliminal messages.
Native's divine sense will make you feel it's native.
My dad took out a personal loan to help support 3 children.
Every time that screen hit that like button right now,
he might not have been able to give me the opportunities that I needed to make those dreams happen. The fact that Mariner was able to provide that for my family, it's really special for me.
Mix, match, or happy with game.
The Sonic $6 All-American Smasher Meal tops the burger food chain. Get it hand smashed and made with
messages packed in his performance. From a bird's eye view, Bad Bunny was taking a walk through various parts of Puerto Rican and Latin American culture, which honestly kind of reminded me of Lil Wayne's A Milli music video. Regardless though, the set was meant to resemble the sugarcane fields in Puerto Rico, and funnily enough, the green set was actually just a bunch of people. One person on Reddit said, "This calls out Puerto Rico's slave history and being exploited for its resources and labor. America invaded Puerto Rico in 1898 and devalued their currency, appropriated the land, turned large agricultural areas to grow sugarcane. This resulted in lots of poverty across Puerto Rico." He played a snippet of Daddy Yankee's Gasolina and said, "You're listening to music from Puerto Rico, the barrios, and the projects." By the way, sorry guys, I just can't roll my R's. I don't know what's wrong with my tongue, but just I'm gonna disappoint you in this video. I want you to know that. He also handed his Grammy to a young boy who many people actually mistook for Liam Ramos, a young boy who was detained by ICE, but it was actually a child actor named Lincoln Fox. He did a bunch of cool cultural things throughout the whole performance, like inviting Tonita, who is the 85-year-old owner of Caribbean Social Club in New York, a popular and last of its kind establishment because of gentrification. Some people were saying stuff like the taco stand being called Villa's Tacos represents Pancho Villa, who was the only person who invaded the US. It's also the name of a taco shop, so who knows, maybe it's both meanings, I don't know. In regards to the food stands in general though, another Redditor said, poverty is a big topic of conversation here. The coconut stand, nail salon stand, and taco stand emphasize how Puerto Ricans, and in general how in Latin America, you have to hustle and get creative to get by. It's very common for people there to open food stands to feed their families. Very common to walk around the block in these countries and bump into so many small businesses. Also, it's why boxing appears as well, since boxing is commonly known as a way out of poverty, especially in Mexico. There was also a couple that got engaged and then married during the performance, with Lady Gaga singing at the wedding. And apparently the wedding was real too. Others suggested that Lady Gaga performing at the end of the wedding bit was critiquing American tradition of inviting Latino artists to sing at weddings as if they were just entertainers. He also had a bunch of other celebrities out there like Cardi B, Jessica Alba, Pedro Pascal, and many more. But Bad Bunny also included some more political messaging aside from just the showcasing of culture. At one part, Ricky Martin, one of the biggest Latin music artists ever, who is also from Puerto Rico, sang a Bad Bunny song called What Happened to Hawaii. He sang the chorus, which reads, "They want to take away my river and the beach too. They want my neighborhood and for grandma to leave, because I don't want them to do to you what happened to Hawaii." This song is very obviously about US colonialism. And if you guys don't know how the US acquired Hawaii, it was very sneaky, kind of like, hey, let's just put a military base here real quick. We're still friends, we're still just allies. But let us put one more here. World War II happens, boom. Martial law, and then they took it over. Then right after this, a bunch of power lines blew up with people falling off to illustrate power outages, since they happened a lot on the island. And this is actually a really big problem in Puerto Rico, with one person on Reddit saying, storms and poor electrical infrastructure are a constant issue on all US territories. Longest I personally went without power was 2.5 months on the island I lived on. Many blame the poor electric grids on the United States for not giving them enough money or resources or attention to help out. Following this, he comes out of the field with the Puerto Rican flag, but this flag had the light blue triangle, which is usually used to symbolize Puerto Rico's sovereignty and political independence, which contrasts with other versions of the flag that use darker shades of blue for the triangle, which is supposed to represent Puerto Rico's status as a US territory instead. This is kind of crazy, but the OG flag was actually banned for a decade in 1948, along with anything remotely related to Puerto Rican independence. So there's actually a lot of meaning behind this light blue flag. At the end of the performance, Bad Bunny spoke in English the only time in his performance, saying, "God bless America." Then he listed 20 nations within the Americas displaying their flags, including the US and Puerto Rico. He spiked a football that read, "Together we are America," with a message on the screen in the background that said, "The only thing more powerful than hate is love." I didn't mention every single thing he did, but I'm sure you guys get the gist of it. This performance was jam-packed with meaning, yet seemed to be done so in a way that wasn't expected, following all of the heat that he got from the ICE discourse, the US government, the people that were mad for him performing, and even the president himself. Speaking of which, Trump promptly responded to the performance saying, "The Super Bowl halftime show is absolutely terrible, one of the worst ever. It makes no sense, is an affront to the greatness of America, and doesn't represent our standards of success, creativity, or excellence." But do you know who does represent all of these things? Kid Rock. I'm kidding, but we'll get there. Trump continued saying, "Nobody understands a word this guy is saying, and the dancing is disgusting, especially for young children that are watching from throughout the USA and all over the world. This show is just a slap in the face to our country, which is setting..."
But see, that's stupid. Hit that like button, double tap that screen. Because Trump immediately continues to tell on himself. You saying that this is you saying that this is disgusting because they dancing and people don't know what he mean. But yet we see Trump over there doing people like in Minnesota just taking over their life. Getting rid of women and men with ICE and acting like he don't know nothing about it, like it's nothing. But then you got all this mouth and all this paragraph about Latinos dancing in the Super Bowl. You see what I'm saying? This is how you know, fam, how we either become numb to it or how they don't act like we care about it because we need him to say it's wrong or we need him to admit, because all he's doing, again, he's putting attention on where he was to put attention on, and he's putting stupid attention. Like he just sat there and put out the monkeys about Obama now. And then he played dumb like he didn't know nothing about it. But then all of a sudden, you know all about the Super Bowl though. That's what I'm talking about, man. Trump he's stupid, he's sick. And whoever stands with him is sick in the mind too as well. Because at the end of the day, he's chosen for what he's doing. He's chosen to be in this position. And it's so even more sadder because his fall is gonna hurt so bad. Shout out to KDS 5083 with the $10 donation in the super chat with the love and the support. That's real. His fall is gonna be so bad. Become a member right now. KDS, become a member right now. Make sure that you subscribe Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. I truly appreciate you. It's love. But I want you to understand, Trump's fall is going to be so bad. See, we continue to talk about what he's doing. We continue to talk about all the stupidness. You talk about Super Bowl people because you going after ISIS, going after every Latino in the world. So you're just going to talk about them bad and do all of that. But it's sad because we never discuss how bad his fall is going to be. We never discuss how bad he's going to feel what he is doing to us. We never talk about him reaping what he is sowing. We never discuss that for some reason. And I'm here to tell you, fam, it's a more deeper place for people like Trump that's put in position to do what he's doing, but yet sits back and think he won't be punished. Sits back and think no one sees him. Sits back and think that his skin color is bigger than life. Sits back and think that his money is bigger than any problem. And now he sits back and think that his position will never get him in trouble. And I'm here to tell you, fam, his fall is going to be so hard that he may not ever get up again. Let me say that again for somebody that believe. Like he hurting us right now. He hitting us in the body. He hitting us with all these shots. We in the ring with him. He hitting us bad. And I'm talking about he doing it with no remorse, no thought, no nothing. But just full-fledged, all systems go. And it's sad because just to even understand that, it puts you in a worse case like that. Because when you talk about guys that sit there and doing what Trump is doing, it makes his fall. The worse he's doing, the worse his fall. Look at Diddy. I'm here to tell you, man. He gonna feel it. Look at Diddy. We never thought Diddy would be where Diddy at. Even if Diddy is there for a month, it's the fact that he failed. You understand? It ain't even about this thing like you want him to get 10 years fat. No, it's the fact that we seen someone with that high level, in the elite bracket, fall. And we seen that. And we are still seeing it now. So when I tell you there's nothing too hard for God, when I tell you vengeance is mine, said the Lord, when I tell you you and me gonna sit back just as we did for Diddy and watch Trump walk this same path, if not even yet a worse. And when it happened, all we're gonna say is, oh, but God. We're going to say, look at God. You know how many people felt like that when Diddy was called to just Diddy headline about Diddy being looked into? How many women, how many people started feeling comfort? So many people started feeling relief. So many people started looking up like God is real. So many people started rejoicing in the Lord because they felt that this human could not be punished. But oh, but God. Right now, as we speak, Diddy is behind bars. I bet you'd have never thought that in your life. But that's how God moves. I ain't here to preach to you. I ain't here to even, boy, you better hear me. That's how he moves. May not come when you want him to, but he'll be there on time. And the crazy part is, you never know how he's working, but he works it out. If you've been through something and believe that the God that brought you out, you better press one in here, because I'm telling you, I've been through something. And my partner didn't bring me out. My homie didn't take me through there. My peoples didn't save me. You can't tell me nobody thought what's going on today ain't real. Diddy is behind bars. This is a real thing. That is the way that the Lord moves. And it's so crazy because you can pray. Let me tell you what you've been doing that you don't even realize what you're doing to yourself. Hit that like button, double tap that screen. Somebody finna learn something right now. You be praying about certain things, but you don't even pray about how the process will happen. But yet you pray about it. So then when things start to change in your life, you forget your ass prayed about it. And the fact that you don't know how the process is going to be done for the manifestation, you just sitting there like, oh my God, something just went this way in my life. Fam, like, what's up with you? Oh man, I don't know. It's a lot going on, but crazy. It's been crazy these last couple of weeks. Or some ain't been doing what you used to it doing. You forgot what you prayed about. A love within in the building. You forgot what you prayed about. Somebody better tell somebody right now, you forgot what you prayed about. You better hear me today. That's the problem. We forget what we prayed about, fam. Because the way the Lord moved. See, people always talk about he moving in mysterious. Oh, that's a lie from the pit of hell. Ain't nothing mysterious about God. Because everything he does is indecent and in order. Don't sit in here and tell me mysteries. How God won't line it. He'll line it up. But yet you prayed about it and forgot. And now you're seeing things manifest itself, but you never knew that's the way it was going to happen. The process, the form, the way, in the order in which things are happening. You don't know it. You never knew it. That's why we say, oh, but God. Because yet it still is coming to pass. It is yet still coming to pass. And I thank God so much, because I'm going to tell you about some things I done prayed about. And I done seen the Lord move, but never seen it. I never seen it, but yet I seen it. Somebody understand me right now. I never seen, but I seen it happen. And I'm like, whoa. And it'll take you by storm in the midst of the trial, because you never see it in the tribulation. You never see it in the trial, but you seen it happen. And you would think you just was that late, or it happened that fast that you like, whoa, hold up. You never see it, but you seen it. And that's why you never know how things are being done. But yet you need to know that he's moving on your behalf. And you can never forget what you prayed about. I urge you, if you pray about it, I urge you to write it down. Because you're going to pray about something and it's going to come to pass. And you're not even going to know the series of events that occurred that made it come to pass for your workings. You're never going to know. So I urge you, if you're going to pray about something, you better write it down. Because when it happens and it come to pass, you need to go back and say, oh, but God. Woo! Somebody better take a drink, because that's real. It don't get no realer than that. Hit that like button, double tap that screen, become a member. We're here to save your life. You're going to open up your ears tonight for real. You better hear me today. You better write it down. Because when you go back to it, you're going to say, oh, but God. And you'll never know that that's how it happened. Because you will never see the process in the establishment of the events of how it's manifest in your face. So when I tell you Trump has a falling coming, you better hear me. He has a falling coming, Theo. Chris, he has a falling coming, Lori. I'm trying to tell y'all something here today. A love within. He got a falling coming. And yet in the midst of all of this, in the midst of all this demonic, in the midst of all this corruption, in the midst of this chaos, there's still yet a fall to come. You better hear me. Because if you actually read what was read, we never win the battle. If you ever read and believe, we never win the battle, but God, we win the war. If you ain't never knew nothing right now, we win the war. We don't win the battle, we win the war. You need to understand what that means. We never win the battle, we win the war. And right now we in battle. So those things that are written must come to pass. So you can really realize the good and the bad, the ugly, the worse, the chaos, the corruption. What's written. We never win the battle, but we win the war. You got to thank God for that. Whether you believe or not, you got to thank God for that. Because at the end of the day, this battle that we going through with Diddy, we win the war. He's where he's at right now, learning and understanding that all will be punished for sins and iniquities. And no person on this earth will go unseen in the eyes of God. Nobody will. Nobody. You can be under any rock. You can be under any earth. You want to be under. No soul that is living will not be seen. So when I tell you there's a fall coming, and it's greater than what you ever seen right now, than what we're going through. We're going to be, we here for the battle. We here for the going. We here for it. Because the fall that's coming, when we see it, we're going to say, oh, but God. Somebody, we don't even know how it's going to happen. And let me tell you what's funny about it. Trump is digging his own situation. He hanging his own self from a rope. Digging his own. Oh, you better hear me. See, that's why you don't even know the process. You never know how God moves. Because you don't even know the rope he already hang. You better hear me. You never knew how Diddy was just hanging himself. Digging his grave. Oh, man. Huh? Opening his cell. Oh, yeah. That's what it was. We never seen it. They were showing us videos. They were showing us what he was saying. We was hearing everything about him. We heard over 1,000 women, over 1,000 rumors. And the whole time, he hanging himself. He digging his own grave. He opening up his own cell. So when I tell you it's a fall that's coming, and it's a difference on how it will be set. Shout out to a Love Within with the $20 donation in the super chat. Is love. I truly appreciate you, family. You know what it is. Monday through Friday, you got to be here. We looking for you, family. That's a real thing. We here to learn something today. We here to bring light to darkness. And we here to inform, understand, and be aware. Because at the end of the day, we got to read in between the lines. It's a reason why Bad Bunny is in position. It's a reason why Trump is talking like he's talking. It's a reason why they are choosing to ignore things that we see right in front of our face, and yet nobody is there to punish or hold anyone accountable. It almost make you want to get up and smack everything off You better hear me. It almost make you want to get up and go through the TV and smack everything standing there. Just start smacking folk back and forth. Bop, 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 and just start wop, wop, wop. Because at the end of the day, it almost just make you just want to go to war right now. Because you can't do nothing about it. And it's so sad because you like, they just gonna let that happen? See, for me, it hits me different because I'm just sitting back like that. So y'all just gonna let that happen? Oh, so y'all just gonna let that happen? Oh, okay, so we seen. So you seen was just, so y'all just gonna let that happen? That's what we doing? See, that's how I feel. I feel so bad about it because, again, I'm like, so y'all just gonna let that happen? Also, fam over there just lost themselves, so y'all gonna let that happen? Oh, man, you know what it is. Theo just became a member in the building. Welcome to the fam that's already been fam. Theo, my dog. Shout out to Theo becoming a member today, knowing what it is and what it takes. Because we're here to learn. We're here to learn you something. We're here to understand you something. We're here to make you to get something, to tell somebody else. I challenge somebody to become a member so you can be saved and understand. We're here to save your life. There's too much going on. Ain't nobody got to hear. There's too much going on. Can't nobody hear nothing. There's too much going on. Can't nobody hear nothing. We won't have it here, no filters. Shout out to Theo. You know it's love. We truly appreciate your family. It's love. That's what we're doing. But I want you to understand why, how things are happening. Because when God do something for you, you don't even know it's being done. Even if it's bad. That's what you really heard. Something bad going on. It's so weird how a path can be bad that leads to good. And you didn't even know that. But yet people don't never want to go through the fire. They want to go around it. But they never understand that going through the fire literally burns that coat off. And then you have a new you out you. Oh my God, somebody hear me today. You can hit that fire. You can go through that fire. It's going to burn that weak ass layer off of you. It's going to create you a new coat of body, a new layer of soul, a new thickness. You understand? A new bulletproof vest for what is to come. Because we never know the future. Only the Savior knows it. So when I tell you fire is on the way, embrace the flames. Because that's the way of letting you know it's something on the other side that's waiting on you after that heat. You know what I mean? When the heat clears, when the smoke clears, it's a new you right there ready for the next stages of your life. We never know these chapters. We look at our birthdays, we see these chapters, we go to our next birthday, but we never know that that fire that was created might have been what you prayed for. My bad. That's why I tell you again, you pray for something, you better write it down. Because when that fire comes, don't forget that's what you prayed for. That fire is ready to burn that off of you. See, that fire be there to burn off that old stupidity, that old ignorance, that old things we go through, that old that. You want to pray for some more, but you don't want to go through the fire to get it off you. You want to go around. But you want what's right on the other side. You want to get to you want what's on the other side, but you don't want to go through it to get it. And you think the same you that's you right now is prepared for what's on the other side? Is you stupid? That you ain't prepared for that side. That you ain't prepared for the other side. That's why you got to go through that fire to burn that shit off you. To burn that off you. For a new you to get that new stuff that's on the other side that's waiting for you. People don't want to go through it. People don't understand what that fire is, what that do for you. You think that's just bad. Let me tell you what bad is that makes good look so great. Because without bad, we don't know what good feels like. Without sorrow, without, we don't know, all work together for the good. As I've thought, that I've heard, that I've read, that all works together for the good. Even the bad, you ain't hearing me, fam. All works together for the good. So the worst things that you see and go through, if you've heard, your tribulation and trial is nothing but a testimony for me. Let me say that again for you that thought you was going through something because of you. You thought you was going through something because of you. I'm here to tell you, it ain't you. It was never you. It's him, her, me. You going through something for me. You ain't even know that though, did you? You ain't heard it. You ain't got it. Lord, thank you. You going through something for me. Because if you don't go through something for me, Lord, we can never turn to somebody and say, oh, I've been through something. I don't know what to do. What am I going to do? And somebody can say, hold on, my brother. Hold on, my sister. Come here. I got you. I can show you what to do. I can help you. I can guide you on what to do. There's a reason why trials and tribulation create testimonies. Let me say that again for somebody ain't heard me. It's a reason why trials and tribulations create testimonies. You going through something for me. I'm going through something for you. Tell somebody right now, I'm going through something for you, fam. And then tell them, yeah, I'm going through something for you. Get you some water. Tell somebody, I'm going through. You better hear me today. Tell somebody when you get a chance, I'm going through something for your ass. And then you turn right back around, look at them, tell them, yeah, you going through something for me, mother. Huh? Hit that water, hit that like button, double tap that screen. We're here to save somebody today. We're gonna save your life today. If you listen, we're gonna save your life today. You better hear me. You better tell somebody you're going through something for me, and you tell them right back, I'm going through something for you. Because that trial and tribulation gonna equal a testimony that's gonna tell somebody how to go through something so they can get through the fire, so they can get to the other side of what God got for you, fam. Because only he knows and only you know what you asked for. We don't know. We all similar think we asking for the same thing, but we not, because we ain't came up the same way. So we ain't asking for the same thing. So that's why we have to specifically go through things to be a testimony for others that feel that way and go through those same things, because they need to know how to get out. You better, fam just came in here and said it right now, you going through something for me. Somebody better type to somebody and tell them you going through something for me. This is how we come out of problems. This is how we come out of problems. This is how we come out of problems. This is how we come out of what we in. This is how we come out of trial. This is how we come out together. I keep talking to you that together is more than one. I keep saying together forever. All we got is us. That's it. I keep saying this. You better tell somebody I'm going through something for you. You going through something for me. Because whatever that is, think about it. I tell my kids all the time, if you listen, you won't have to go through it. Woo! If I ain't never told, you ain't never told your kids, I went through that for you. So you ain't got to do that either. I can tell you about it so you ain't got to go through it. Ooh, hear me today. I can tell you about that fire because I got burned. You don't have to get burned. I got burned for you. You better hear me, Chris. You better go tell your kids, I went through that for you. That's what we got to tell our kids all the time. We telling them that every day. I went through that for you. And now I'm here to tell you that if you do this way, in this manner, this was going to happen. Do you want to do that? Do you want to go through that? Okay, no, you don't. So listen. I'm going through something for you. You going through something for me. It's never a time where ain't nothing we going through ain't for somebody else. Because we're here to teach. We're here to let fam know, hey, you ain't never sit with your partners or even females. That's all we do is come together and talk. That's all we do is come. Hey, girl, what you got going? Nothing, just chilling up. What's up, Pat? Man, chilling. What you on? Nothing, we over here posted up, maintaining. She even to get something to eat, probably. You been to that new chicken place over there on Sunset? Yeah, man, they good, but they ain't doing nothing real. They food too salty. They ain't making no noise. Yeah, man, they straight though. But you go over there, what's his name? They Chinaman good over there. What's his name on 45th and 8th? Yeah, all right, well, get at you, man. I'm gonna go now. You see that? That's what we do all day, every day. Sit around and talk, help. let each other know where we're going, how we're going, the way we're going, what we should be doing, what we shouldn't be doing. If you, don't go over there, but go over there. Oh, it's good over there, but it's bad over here. We giving testimonies all day. You better hear me. We giving testimonies all day. We telling people what to do all day. As we talk to our fam and our friends and our partners all day, we telling them what to do all day. Your trials and tribulations are not weighed by how, hear me right now. Your trials and tribulations ain't weighed by how heavy they are. Oh no. Your trial and tribulation is not never weighed. It's never weighed on how heavy. It's always weighed on how much. It's never how heavy, it's how much. See, one thing can weigh you down so heavy that it can feel like your life is over. That one thing. But then somebody else can be going through 10 small things that can overweigh them like that one thing in your life. So we have to start looking at the value of these problems and say, hey, what we doing? What we doing? Is the trials and the tribulations for the testimonies? Am I putting myself in this for a testimony? Or am I just in this just to be in this because I'm bored? And you always think you're going through something just to be going through it because you ain't got money. People always think they're going through something because they ain't got no money. That's a real thing. People always think they're going through something because they ain't got it. And I'm here to tell you, you ever met somebody that ain't had it but still living well? You ever met somebody that ain't had it but is still making a living well? I know some people. You are not prepared for $1 million. Oh, let me say that again. Somebody got to hear this. This for somebody. I don't know who, but so you are not prepared for $1 million. You are not prepared for $1 million. Yet these things you pray for, you yet don't even know that you're prepared for it. You sit back and pray for a better this and a better that. But have you looked at yourself and said, are you really prepared for that? Can you handle that? Can you maintain that? See, God knows the heart. You can think what you want. And it says in the word, what a man think with his heart is he. And you can think it and he be that. But when I tell you what you're not ready for, and that God knows what you're not ready for, but yet he wants to bless you and wants you to be prosperous, but yet you don't want to go through nothing to get to that level. Ooh, ain't that toe up? Ooh. You ain't got time to go through nothing to get to that level. That's why you keep going around this, going around that. Every time something come up, you find a way to weasel on out of it. You find a route to take. Some come up, you go right up. You don't even know that that's the fire for you to get to the other side of your blessing. Woo! Don't even know, fam. Write down what you pray for and watch them work. Be prepared for the process. Go through the fire so you can burn that old you off and get that new you for the new beginnings that God got for you. That's it. That's it. I just gave you the game right there. Go through the fire. Burn the old you off for what God knew got for you. Tell somebody I'm going through something for you. You going through something for me. It's a reason why our trials and tribulations give us testimony so we can make sure we get there. We will never know what's on the other side if we don't go through it. And I don't care who believe this or not, but I know you in here with me right now. You will never know what's on the other side until you go through it. You can't go around to get through it. Oh no, you can't go around. You will never know what's on the other side for you if you don't go through it. See, that's why I tell my mom, I thank God for what we've been through. I'll go through it again with you again because it made me who I am today. Lord, I thank you. I tell my mother all the time, I'll do it again with you. The worst, been in the hood, electric off, figuring out food, what we doing, how we sleeping. God, what we doing, keep us tonight. I'll do it all over again because it made us who we are today, Lord. Thank you. I can shed a tear because we hurt. But we went through the fire to be where we at right now. And if I didn't go through the fire, I wouldn't be able to sit here and talk to you about it. You wouldn't even listen to me. I wouldn't be able to guide you on those trials and tribulations for a testimony. I wouldn't even have a testimony if I didn't go through that fire. But I thank God. Oh, but God. That's what I say. Oh, but God. Huh? Oh, but God. Yeah. Oh, but. And I done seen the worst. I done seen some of the things I think the worst. And some of that probably ain't. But I'm telling you. Oh, but God. I encourage you to go through the fire. Go through it. We're going to burn that old you off. It's a new you. Because the Lord said, I won't put you through nothing you can't bear. You ought to smack somebody for that. Woo! You ought to smack somebody for that. I feel for whoever on it. If somebody's on the side of me, I'd have backhand somebody right now. You hear me? If he told me I won't go through, he won't put me through nothing that I can't bear, then that means I can go through the fire, Lord. I thank you. That means I can go through the fire and I'm still going to be here. Because I won't go through nothing I can't bear. So I invite the fire. I induct the fire. I enlight the fire. I light the fire. I put the fluid on the fire. Because I know he ain't going to put me through nothing I can't bear. That means I can bear the fire. To get to the other side for what's for me. You better tell somebody that right now. Smack them in their face and tell them, I'm going through something for you. You going through something for me. Woo! This for somebody. I don't even know who it is, but the way it's running out of my face, it's for somebody. I'm telling you. You better hear me. Go through the fire. He won't put you through nothing you can't bear. The fire is for you. You can bear the fire. Let me say that. You can bear the fire. It's there to burn off that old. It's there to burn off the bad. It's there to burn off the because you can't take this to the new. You can't take this to the new level. You can't take this to the new mansion. You can't take this to the millions. You can't take this to the new. You can't take this where you're going. Hit that like button, double tap that screen. Woo! You better hear me, fam. Woo! You better hear me. You can't take this there. Go through the fire. He won't put you through nothing you can't bear. That's a boy, Chris. You can't take this there. Go through the fire. He won't put you through nothing you can't bear. You better hear me. Shout out to you, Jim. It's a blessing, brother, to be a blessing to you. You understand? You're welcome. It's a blessing to be a blessing. Because I tell you again, it's trials and tribulations equals testimonies. And it's a reason why we're going through it. That's real, Theo. And that's how it heard. Because when you heard the truth, when you heard, it erupts something in you. See, when you're hearing the truth, when you're hearing the light, when you're hearing the power of the, it will move you inside your body. Is you hearing me? When it's right, it will move you in your body. And you ain't even got to believe. Boy, you can hear. That's just like being in church but ain't listening. But yet it's going through your ears. it will move you. It will truly move you in your spirit when it's right and it's for you. My brothers and sisters, I'm telling you, my partners, my homies, my G's, I encourage you to go through the fire because you can bear it. And it's another greater you on the other side that's ready for what you've been praying for. And because of that, we can all say, oh, but God. Better hear me, CM4 said I'm standing this whole time. It's real. Hit that like button, double tap that screen. We cooking.
I'm just a guy. But when I use my Bosch appliances, I feel like more than just a guy. I feel like guy. Same goes to these Bosch power tools here. Just a guy. Guy. Just a guy. Guy. Just a guy. Guy.
With phenomenal appliances.
And battle for battle tools. Thought you only spoke French.
The more you Bosch, the more you feel like it.
Tone in the building. You better tell him I'm going through
Today,
something for you.
You were
going through
giving the
something for
reason
me.
Bad Bunny was chosen for the halftime. And breaking down the ritual, you weren't supposed to understand. Bad Bunny is one of the top-selling artists on the planet. With that much success, the mainstream media says he's a natural choice for the Super Bowl. But if you look at the history of these halftime shows, you know why he was actually chosen. Bad Bunny wasn't chosen for his music. He was chosen because he embodies the industry's agenda in every single way. The industry wants to dissolve gender. Bad Bunny cross-dresses in his videos and makes out with male dancers on stage. The industry wants to push a specific spiritual narrative. Bad Bunny releases videos chained to demons and touches ancient archaeological artifacts as if he's charging up for the performance. From glamorizing promiscuity to tearing down traditional family values, he hits every mark on the industry's checklist. So are you really surprised that the industry's biggest puppet show chose its biggest puppet to perform? The Super Bowl halftime show isn't about American football. It's about harvesting the energy of millions to be used for a ritual done in front of the world. And that is exactly what we're seeing with this Super Bowl performance. Yesterday, Bad Bunny took the stage at the Super Bowl, and on the surface, it looked like a massive tribute to Latin culture. But underneath the dancing and singing, the performance was hiding a message most people were never meant to see. And no, I'm not just talking about the man-on-man subliminal message they threw in there with the dancers for a second. I'm talking about the ritual hidden right in the middle of all of this. I know many of you have asked yourself what any of this stuff actually means. Now at first glance, it just looks like a giant spectacle, but the imagery used during the performance tells a specific story. From the beginning when Bad Bunny is in the fields, to the moment Lady Gaga dances on him, and then towards the end when he's on the power poles, it all tells a very specific message. While it just looked like a regular performance, when I tell you what this actually means, you won't see it the same. This year, the imagery wasn't as obvious as usual, but if you understand their language, you can decode the message. Let's look at how Bad Bunny started the performance. The performance started in the sugarcane fields with Bad Bunny wearing an all-white suit with a white jersey over it with the number 64. In these high-level industry rituals, white isn't just a fashion choice. It represents the albedo, the stage of purification and initiation in alchemy. In the occult, this signifies the subject has been washed clean of their old self to become a vessel for a new power. This was meant to represent his beginning, where he started from and how far his journey to the top was. The white outfit was a visual signal that Bad Bunny has officially been chosen as the new gatekeeper of the Latin industry. This is why he was surrounded by the other major names like Cardi B, Pedro Pascal, and Karol G. They weren't just guests. They were witnesses to the ritual, and the moment Ricky Martin appeared, the message became crystal clear. This was the passing of the torch from the old to the new, marking the official beginning of Bad Bunny's reign as the new industry gatekeeper. Lady Gaga wasn't just randomly chosen for this performance either. While it might seem like they snuck a white artist in to keep America from rage quitting, Gaga played a much more important role in this ritual. She played the part of the high priestess. In ancient and esoteric traditions, blue is a color often associated with the divine feminine and the Great Mother, which is connected to Isis. In esoteric rituals, the high priestess provides the spiritual authority for the initiate. By wearing blue, she represents the mother figure of the industry, the one who had already been initiated, symbolically baptizing the new initiate in the industry's higher ranks. Essentially, she was leading this ritual, passing the symbolic torch from Ricky Martin to Bad Bunny. The third and final part of the ritual was the completion of the great work and the moment of ascension. Towards the end of the performance, we see Bad Bunny ascending on the power poles. To most, this moment was simply just a tribute to Puerto Rico's infrastructure, but in the language of the occult, it was telling a completely different story. This was meant to demonstrate the literal completion of the great work. He was positioning himself at the very top of the energy grid. In the occult, electricity is often linked to the light bringer, the spark of life and consciousness, often described as a divine spark. The purpose of the great work is to power that divine spark so it could ascend and reach enlightenment. By standing on the energy poles, he positioned himself between the heavens and the earth, with the sparks representing the activation of his own divine spark. Symbolically, he was siphoning the focus of 100 million people and grounding it into the stage to feed off their energy. He wasn't just performing, he was being initiated into the highest orders of the secret religion that runs. Even his outfit told us this from the beginning. On top of his white suit, Bad Bunny had a white jersey on with the number 64. It is no coincidence that he wore the number 64, as it represents completing the great work. 64 represents the rebirth of the spirit. By the time he reached the top of the energy grid, he was telling the world that his transformation was finished. By wearing the number 64, Bad Bunny is signaling that he has finished his journey across the board. He has navigated the duality of the industry and has reached the final square. His ascension, he has crossed the 64 squares of the industry's chessboard, mastered the 64 changes of the alchemic blueprint, and was ready to be activated as the new high priest. While it seemed like a massive moment for Latinos, it was just another industry ritual. Just like we've been seeing unfold on a global scale with the political world as well. Just a few days ago, Vice President J.D. Vance announced that Trump had established a new world order. I just covered this in a Patreon exclusive video, and if you're one of my members, make sure to check that video out ASAP. But back to Bad Bunny. Now that we've seen the ritual unfold on the Super Bowl stage, we have to ask, why him? Why was Bad Bunny chosen to be the face of this specific moment? There is a reason Bad Bunny managed to blow past all the rest of the Latino artists. He was the one chosen to introduce the Latin youth to the industry agenda. To better understand the halftime performance, we have to look back at the history of occult ritual programming that led to this night. This wasn't just a career climb for Bad Bunny. It was a transition from another big Latin artist to a high-level industry gatekeeper. Bad Bunny has shown us this was coming for years. The signs have always been there. The industry loves to frame Bad Bunny's fashion as breaking boundaries or gender fluidity. But in the world of the occult, this has a very specific meaning behind it. Now I want to warn you, some of this stuff is occult mumbo jumbo, but I'm a simplifier for us normal folk. All of this is connected to something called the rebus. In alchemy, there's a ritual called the Great Work, or the Magnum Opus, which results in the creation of the rebus, what they call a divine being that has conquered duality by merging the masculine and feminine into one body. Basically, a person who becomes gender neutral. When you see Bad Bunny in full drag in his Yo Perreo Sola video, or acting as his own female counterpart in his other videos, he isn't just playing dress up. He is embodying the alchemic archetype of what they call the divine hermaphrodite. He is signaling to those who know the code that he has completed his ascension and activated his divine spark. But the gender blurring is only half of the story. Look at the symbols he has been surrounding himself with since the beginning of his career. For years, Bad Bunny has used the third eye symbolism to represent a higher vision. In his Yo Perreo Solo video, we see him literally chained to demonic figures and surrounded by gothic ritualistic imagery. He dressed up like the Baphomet. If you look at his outfit, you can see him wearing a skirt, dressed up exactly like Baphomet is represented in this image. Even as recently as December 2025, he was caught in that museum controversy touching on that ancient artifact. The public called it a lack of respect, but it's all connected to their secret religion. He's been telling us his plan since day one. He didn't call his movement a fan base, he called it La Nueva Religión, which in English means the new religion. The industry didn't just choose him because he's the best singer. They chose him because he was the most willing to become a living sigil. He is the ultimate puppet. because he has surrendered himself completely to push the industry's agenda. At the end of the day, what we witnessed at Levi Stadium wasn't a concert, it was a public coronation. The industry didn't just put on a show, they executed a multi-layered ritual to finalize the transfer of power. While the crowd was singing along to Titi Me Preguntó, they had no idea they were being used to power this ritual. They participated in the full cycle, from the albedo purification in the white suit to the great work completed on the power poles. Bad Bunny didn't just make it to the Super Bowl, he made it to the very top with the likes of Diddy, Jay-Z, and Dr. Dre. This is not just about music. Look at the timing of all of this going down. Look what's happening around the world and in our very country. We are seeing these rituals play out in every sector of society. Bad Bunny is just a vessel for a message that is being broadcast to the entire world. The old world is gone and the new religion is here. They tell us the only thing more powerful than hate is love, but in their world, love is just another word for total compliance to the agenda. I know all of this sounds too much or unbelievable, but I challenge you to look into the symbolism yourself. Look into Bad Bunny's past actions. Look into the meaning of the gender bending. Look deeper into why he became such a big star. And take under consideration the other artists and executives that made it to the same level as Bad Bunny, what they have been exposed for. Like I said, this is all deeper than you could possibly expect. They don't want you to see this side of the performance, but that's what I'm here for, to reveal what they're hoping you won't see. Chances are they're gonna suppress this video because I revealed way too much, but you can help combat that by liking, sharing, and hyping this video. Help me spread this information to as many people as possible. And if you like videos revealing the unfiltered truth, make sure to subscribe for more videos. I post new videos every other day all year long for the last 5 years straight. In fact, today marks the 5-year anniversary of my channel. So if you want to celebrate with me, make sure to leave a comment. 5 years of revealing the truth, and none of this could be possible if it wasn't for the support you all show. So I truly want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Well, that's it for this video. But before you guys go, don't forget about the new Patreon exclusive. You won't want to miss that video. You can find the link pinned in the comment section, and then...
So fam says... Okay, so your name is at LB Things Stuff More 9513 says. So is Kendrick a demon lizard person too? CM4 says this is a ritual then inadvertently gives legal authority through the window to your souls, the eyes. True. Now, when she said a lizard person, and I Things Stuff More, your name's Things Stuff More. Please hit that like button, double tap that screen, become a member today. Subscribe. We Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. Listen to me. When you say lizard person, you're talking about the reptilian that they believe in. Let me say that again. When you say lizard person, you're talking about reptilian is what that is, reptilian. Now, that's a real thing, okay? I wanted you all to see that video because that further let you know what's really going on with the Super Bowls. Every Super Bowl has always been, I think the first Super Bowl to me that was showing humiliation rituals and all of that was with Katy Perry. Lady Gaga had did the Super Bowls as well, but y'all remember Katy Perry, right? She was walking out to that big line, that big whatever she was on, like some big it was big, some big lion, gold lion or something. She was walking out on that. That was the first, I think, to me to say was real on the ritual that I identified. That was the first one I identified. Who was before Katy Perry? Because I think Madonna. Okay, so if Madonna was before Katy Perry, that was the first real ritual. Because if you go back to the days of Michael Jackson. Okay, there we go, KDS. Go ahead and research KDS. That's you fam. You KDS. KDS about to research. She gonna let us know. We gotta go and watch that. Because I want to know, if you go back and look at the Super Bowls with Katy Perry situation, that's what that is. But if you go back further, I remember, but see, we talk about Taylor Swift, we talk about Beyonce, but I'm talking about like, was it Madonna and then Beyonce? And then Taylor? Or was it Taylor, Madonna, Beyonce, Katy Perry? I'm trying to see the order. Because I'm saying, if you go from Michael Jackson's, Super Bowl, like Michael Jackson's Super Bowl, none of this was going on. And if it was, you would have never even seen it because Michael wasn't doing nothing but just dancing. You know you bad, I'm bad, you know it be bad. Like they just singing, fam. That's all they dancing and singing. But at some point, the Super Bowl became a target for them to target us and how they want to invite these rituals into our eyes, into our souls. That's what I'm saying, Theo, just marching bands and dancing. See, you see how we on the same page, Theo, on my mama. I said it too, yeah, it was just marching and dancing, bands and dancing. But I was like, when did all of a sudden they started getting dark, demonic, and started aiming for that? Okay, so there we go. CM4 said Mariah Carey and Miguel was on one. Okay, and that, but see, you didn't even see that. And then think about it, Janet Jackson. Now, think about it. When Justin Timberlake, remember Justin just did his too. Justin did his. Justin Timberlake did a Super Bowl. Remember that? That was crazy. But the one where Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson, I believe that's when it started. Because that wardrobe malfunction really was like how like covering up the all-seeing eye, left eye, how they be doing the eye thing. That's what that was, fam. You better hear me today. That's what it was, fam. I don't think Jay-Z ever did a Super Bowl. I don't even think I ever seen him on the Super Bowl stage rap, ever. But I'm trying to tell you right now, fam, when that situation happened with Janet Jackson, that's when it started. The revealing, that was a ritual. That was a humiliation ritual. That's what it was. I know I ain't tripping. You better hear me today. That's what that was. Janet Jackson, Justin Timberlake, when they did what they did and then took the situation and it came off like that, she knew what they were doing. They knew what they was doing. And they did it in that manner, in that way. Humiliation ritual, showing her stuff to the world, humiliate. That's what that was. And Janet Jackson or Justin Timberlake came up off of that. So you got to understand, after that happened, who went up, who went down, who descended. So you got to understand what I mean, fam, when they started these things and the way that they've been going about these things and when we had to really start paying attention, because we really never did pay attention. But I'm telling you now, when Justin Timberlake and Janet did it, that's when it started. And now if you look at things, everything after that has been that. So in my head, it was always a time where they initiated and said, hey, it's time to go public. Just like when Jay-Z did Death of Auto-Tune, when T-Pain was making all that good music, all that auto-tune, wanna buy you a drink, ooh, I'm gonna take you. Man was going crazy. It was a time where all we was hearing was T-Pain. And then we would hear T-Pain, Lil Wayne, T-Pain, 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 T-Pain. Like everybody had to do a record with T-Pain. That's how bad T-Pain was taking over. It was like, either you gonna do a song with T-Pain, we ain't gonna even hear you no more. That's what it was, fam. So all of a sudden, Jay-Z like, you know what? Because I can control this, I'm gonna just shut this down. Because he like, okay, it's enough of that auto-tune T-Pain. Let's get back to the hip-hop. So he made Death of Auto-Tune. He made Death of Auto-Tune, and that's when it was over. And you didn't hear no more T-Pain. And then they got back to the hip-hop, to the rap, and all of that. So this what I mean, fam, about those that be that can control things, fam. Because he just said, oh, okay, A Love Within said Jay-Z was signed with the Super Bowl in 2019. True. Because when he did that deal allowed him, the deal that he still has now, that's that deal that puts him in a situation where he's able to pick the music for the NFL. And as you just seen, after the Bad Bunny performance this year, it says, brought to you by Rock Nation. Now, think about this for a second. Jay-Z name just came out some Epstein files. Jay-Z name then came up in some real hot water and heat. He is with the NFL, and they have yet to have him step down. They have yet to fire him. They have yet to dismiss him. They has yet to even suspend him. So that further should let you know what's a part of the agenda. the script. When people that's doing wrong and corruption and not being punished, or not even being held accountable, not even being accused thoroughly, and definitely not being called out on it publicly, that's when you know it's a script. That's when you know it's all put together. Because if that was you and I to do what they done did and be accused of it publicly, we'll be fired the next day. We'd have been fired the same day. My bad, not the next day, the same day. The same moment that they heard about me or you in the same type of rumors they get, you be done. So that's how you know further that this is a part of the script. And you got to be more spooked because of that alone. Because if they allowing these things to be a part of the script, then that means they letting corruption be corrupt. So when I talked about this the other day, about we have to be the ones to be we have to be the police. We have to stop supporting these people. We have to call these people out. We have to stand on it until we see somebody being called out publicly for what they did. Because at the end of the day, they not going to do it. And it further makes us look bad, because if we can't call out, see, this is the way we have to do it. We have to call out other people that's close to those people that can call out those people. You get what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, we can't call out Trump. So we got to call out Pam Bondi because she the voice of Trump. So now we got to figure out somebody that's close to Pam Bondi that can have her ear to hear us. So we got to go in hard on somebody that's close to them so they can hear us. That's how this works, fam. Period. For your Jay-Z's and your Diddy's and all these other people that's on your Bad Bunnies, you just got to stop buying they cologne, clothes, music, concert tickets. We got to just stop. Period. Because you know they not waking up thinking about your kids tomorrow being good. They waking up trying to corrupt your kids and kill you. You understand me? We have to stop these things. The things that we can control, we got to control it. Because if you sitting in here listening to me right now and you in full agreement, press 1. But even if you in full agreement, but yet you know when you get off here, you finna go turn on a Bad Bunny record, a Diddy movie, a Jay-Z old song, a Tyler Perry talk show. You need to don't come back. Because that means you're not standing on business. Because that's what we doing. We having these type of conversations, then people get off here and they go holler. They go support them same people right now. But yet we just had a whole 2 hours about this person and these people. What you doing, fam? That's why your life like it is, because you don't stand on business. You ain't going through the fire. You ain't going through something for somebody, and somebody ain't going through nothing for you. What are you doing? I encourage you to go through the fire. Go through something for somebody so they go through something for you. Stop supporting these corrupt people. Be a voice for the future. We can only do this together, not alone. And we have to read in between the lines and not the headline. We thank God we see this weirdness. We thank God for this ignorance. We thank God for this badness. Because yet it says that we will lose the battle, but we win the war. So we have to thank God for the problems. We got to thank God for the trials, for the tribulations. Because it gives us the testimonies to let our kids know what you went through for them so they don't have to go through it either. It all works together. So trust and believe at the end of the day, it matters most. Because all we can only do is go through it so we can see what's to come. Ain't nothing worth nothing, ain't put no time into it. Let me say that again, because I think people just think you just gonna get it and go. No, no, no. Ain't nothing worth nothing that ain't got no time put into it. Go through the fire. Burn the old you off for a new you. For the prayers that you've been praying. Be prepared for the process. Write down what you prayed about. Don't forget, write down what you prayed about. Because when it comes to pass, you're going to have to go back to when you prayed about it. And you're going to start thinking about what the things and the events that happened and the process that became the manifestation. As always, fam, you know what the level is and what the deal is. And there's only one way to do it, and one way to do it only right here with your boy Dealatofficial and my fam. Right here at No Filters. As always, fam, I truly appreciate each and every one of y'all taking your time out to lend me your ear, lend me your mind, lend me your spirit, lend me your ear, lend me your understanding, having a thought, having a voice. I truly appreciate you giving me your time and your understanding. As always, family, I truly appreciate you coming in, making sure you understand that we're here to bring light to darkness. We're here to read the headlines and read in between the lines. That we letting you know that we're here to inform, understand, and be aware. That if it walk like a, talk like a, we know it's a duck. And it's duck hunting season when you come into the pond. As always, family, I truly appreciate you taking time to open up your understanding and want to know that the future is all in our hands. And it's only for us, and only for us, only for our kids to make sure that we are safe as we go through these trials and tribulations, that our testimonies will always know that I'm going through something for you and that you're going through something for me as well. As always, fam, you know what it is. Never forget the raffles. One woman, one man won yesterday. Shout out to Lori. Congratulations, Lori, for winning. And congratulations, Demi Hill, for winning, understanding that they were the new and first 2026 raffle winners of the No Filters family. Looking forward to your information at nofilters314@gmail.com. Again, all inquiries at nofilters314@gmail.com. As always, fam, I truly appreciate each and every one of y'all taking your time. Then when you come in, you know that you get you something to eat. You get you something to drink. You get you something to smoke if that's what you do. Because you see the title, fam. You in here with your boy Dealatofficial and my fam. And this is No Filters. Good night, family. Y'all be safe. God bless.